And by doing these practices, you've got this immense leg up. You'll be amazed at how many more things you'll be able to do just physically and as far as resisting illnesses. So there's a whole lot of the spectrum called healing. And don't wait until you have something terrible to start doing these practices. Start doing them now. Can energy practices really heal your body and mind? As you know, I never stopped doing surgery the whole time that I was in my search throughout the world, because I thought that the whole Western model still held great value for healing people. That being said, what I noticed is that after watching the grandmaster and then studying him and then finally his teaching me, which took years, and then practicing and working on all the people that wherever I went with him, whether it was in Asia or Korea or Japan or South America or Canada, the North Pole. I mean, there's all kinds of places. It didn't matter whether you were an Eskimo or whether you were in Cape Town. The human body responds to this energy in a fantastic way. So it's like the complement to Western medicine also. So if you break your leg, yes, I could treat it with energy, and I've had to, but it would be much easier just to go into the ER and we can reset it, put a cast on it, and you'll be out. So what I want people to realize is both modalities, at least at this moment, are still useful. Now, could you take any disease and spontaneously heal that disease with the energy? Well, those studies have been done more not in the US, but in Asia. And my personal patients that I've ever had anything to do with that had diseases, we'll start with people that already have a disease, that they said, we want you to remove this cancer with the energy. And I said, no, this tumor is going through your intestine, and you may have positive lymph nodes and all this other stuff. And why take that risk? It takes the time. I said, if you do the energy practices for the week or two before you have your surgery, this lady was in her late 80s, then everything I've ever been able to see in 25 years of this, 30 years of practice, is that the healing is like massively improved. It's almost like you got a beyond stem cell improvement. It's like your whole body just turned on. So as it turned out, the lady said, okay, I'll accept the surgery. She was Chinese. So she said, I know you know the real thing. And I know about, how you worked in China and mainland China. And so I really wanted you to do it that way. I said, it's just too dangerous because you may have a positive lymph node, because I can see that it's invading your whole intestine. But with the energy, let's see what happens. So as it turns out, so she has a surgeon, and the surgeon comes back to me afterwards and he says, I got the whole tumor out and the operation went well. For her age, she did really great. He said, there's just one small thing, not disease-wise. I said, what's that? He said, she wants to go home today. He said, no. And I said, no painkillers? He says, she has no pain. She has no pain. You cut her open and you cut open her intestine and you sewed her up and nothing. He said, she wants to go home. I said, don't let her sign out AMA, please. So finally, the next day, she had her family come in here and says, look, I can walk around. Here's a lady who got cut on. She's walking around the second day after a major abdominal surgery. So yes, the energy practices that I had her doing really, really, really made a huge difference in her whole body healing this insult, which was the cancer and the surgery response. Now, what about somebody that doesn't want to have surgery? Okay, so then I had another lady who, there's people who be listening to this soon probably, who went with me to one of the hospitals I was visiting, just for energy work though, not for surgery. And I went in and visited her, and this lady's just a riot. She's in her, again, in her 80s. And she had a broken hip. And so I walked in there and to her room, and all over her room is on her bed are all these DVDs and CDs of all the guided breathing visualizations we have for healing your body if you have any kind of insult, physical insult, whether it's a bug or whether it's a break or whether it's an immune system. And so she was listening to them all the time. And after she broke her hip, and so she's sitting up in bed. And so I said, well, wait, how much painkillers are you taking? She goes, none. And so then I called the nurse and I asked the nurse, because she wasn't my patient, she was another doctor's patient. I said, well, is she really not taking any painkillers at her age? He says, the nurse said, we go in her room every day and listen to those audios and watch the videos. You're the guy on there, aren't you? You're Dr. B. I said, yeah. She is voted the best patient every day on the floor. We make a vote who's the most sweet, wonderful, kindest patient to connect to. And so we're like thrilled that she's here just because she's a patient. No, and she's got this huge break in her hip. And the surgeon wanted to put a pin in, and he wanted to do something else because it was dislocated. At this point, she said that she's been in the hospital now 3 days. He's doing other x-rays, hasn't made a decision. So then the next day they called me and they said, the doctor told your patient, and she told us to tell you, because she said you probably wouldn't believe her because she's the patient. I said, well, it's not that I didn't believe her. It's just that I got to hear, like, the person's supposed to be able to get who's online to say that it's yes or no. The surgeon says the x-ray shows she healed her break in almost, in less time than he's ever seen any orthopedic patient ever heal a broken hip at that age. And it wasn't because she had super strong bones or anything. She had normal strength, because I asked him about that. He says, no, she's not that. It's amazing. I've never seen anybody with this kind of break in the hip just be able to move around and not have any. I mean, she's already on advanced physical therapy and she doesn't have pain. And we're going to send her home, which is no surgery. And just, is there any way I could get some of your audios or videos, he said, for some of my other patients? And I said, sure. So anyway, this lady, without me, it's just your body, the way it's constructed, is built with all these sensors, and they're like circuit breakers throughout your whole body. There's zillions of them. Dave Asprey, one of my clients, likes to call all the mitochondria the sensors. They're not the only ones, but there's so many of those. That gives you an idea how many there are. But there's so many of those, and they absorb the vibrations that you need for healing if they're open. And the problem with our society, our culture, come on, tell the truth. Since you were a little person, has gotten not better, it's gotten worse. And illnesses and lifespan has actually not improved at the rate they thought it was going to. And you also know that little kids, most of them, if they get an injury or wound or something, they heal really, really fast. Well, they still got more of their sensors open. But as you get past the age of 2 or 3, unless you get connected to these vibrations that are embedded in the audios we have for you or the videos that we have for you at Energy for Success, then there's nobody else playing those vibrations. There's other kinds of things that will equalize your brain. There's alpha, gamma, beta wave, all those other ways. But this is a complex system here. This body is so complex that the joy I had of when I first went to China and seeing lesions heal with just applying direct energy to them, I didn't even know if I could tell anybody about it back then 20 years ago, because people would say, that's not possible. I mean, what is this, some kind of special thing coming out or whatever? But it's been studied now a lot, thankfully, with a lot of cases where people have been able to use the audios and the videos themselves before they go into any kind of disease treatment and get through the treatment massively better. So you're now going to go to the worst question, which is, I'm anticipating, well, what about somebody that's been given almost last rites? And can the energy be like Lourdes, where someone goes there and it's an absolute miracle and they're able to return from an impossible situation? And there is more than one case that I worked on where the person had diseases that were widespread and cancers, and then it looked like it was going to be over for them. And I was able to, with multiple treatments and also them listening to the audios and videos, to at least contain the tumor. Now, to have a so that it didn't spread and they had a normal lifespan. So what about people that would have it just erase, like a spontaneous healing, like you prayed and and praying's good. Don't ever think that you shouldn't keep praying to the wonderful magnificence of what's going on here on this planet, because it is a true glorious experience here that no one, once you look out through the Hubble and all the other telescopes that you see out there, and it's expanding all the time, has any clue of the extent of power that's running everything all the time, including you and me. So can you access that? Yes. Then you access just that with, have there been people that have spontaneously just prayed on themselves and gotten that result? There are reported cases of that also. But in terms of people that are ready to be healed, you sort of have to have a positive approach, which is good no matter whether you have a disease or not. These vibrations are directly going to just zip up your day so that you're zippity-doo-dah and ready to not only accomplish what you have to accomplish, but your body will support you. Because remember, without this body, it's over. There's no more game here. I mean, you're out of the game. So unless your body's at maximum, sensations and flexibility, you're not going to be Steph Curry. So how can you be that way? One, stop thinking that you can't. Start becoming a person who says, well, there must be something much bigger than my brain's ever thought of. There is this energy. Will it work on you? Yes. Doesn't matter whether it's your ethnicity, age group. I've treated people 2 years old to 104. So there's amazing things that our bodies will respond to with this energy. And I'm excited that if you keep preparing to keep yourself stronger each day for the longevity people, then you're going to live a long time, but you're actually going to be stronger each day. And so it's going to be more valuable to you to be living longer. So don't take healing as something that you do once you've gotten, some terrible thing happening. There's all kinds of things around us all the time. There's things that our bodies are facing. And by doing these practices, you've got this immense leg up over, doesn't matter whether the person's downing 70 supplements a day. Your body has to be able to absorb them. Then it has to be able to use them. Then it has to be able to use them and not have a blocking antibody or something that prevents it from even working. So all those things, people who've ever had problems know the sad story of how things don't go well. And I'm saying that you can prevent a lot of it by having your body be in the best shape that you can remember as a high schooler or younger, and go for that and make that a goal to work towards it. It won't happen overnight, but with these practices, you'd be surprised in just a month, 3 months, you'll be amazed at how many more things you'll be able to do just physically and as far as resisting illnesses. So there's a whole lot of the spectrum called healing. And major point, besides the other points I brought, they're all important, is that don't wait until you have something terrible to start doing these practices. Start doing them now and take a picture of yourself, which we always have people do, and then do them every day for 20 minutes, and then have anybody take your picture again 3 months from now. And they'll, I guarantee you, because we hear it all the time, they'll go, have you had any work done? Has anybody done any plastic surgery on you or something? And no, it'll just be your health and your body is more vibrant because it's starting to turn on again. You have control, and that's a wonderful feeling. Can energy practices really heal your body and mind? And that was a question that I went on a search for continuously 7 years. And for sure, as you'll hear, I definitely found that the answer is a positive one. And there's caveats along the way. And once you learn those, you're really going to be in good shape. Thank you for being here with us today. I love being with you and the information we've got. We've got so much more coming. So please subscribe if you would like to hear more in-depth information from us. And we've got a gift for you. Please look in the writing below. There's a link for a gift we're going to send you. And there's so many more things we can't wait to send you. So thanks for being with us today.